Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Think Tank podcast. This podcast will include multiple topics like student life, current affairs, culture, and tradition. I think one of the most important things about social media is the amount of time we spend on it. So, do you think social media has changed our attention spans? Is it harder to focus on things nowadays?
I would say objectively the short answer remains yes, because on average the masses cannot focus on one stream of content for long because of the saturation available in the market. You see Instagram shorts, Instagram Reels, YouTube shorts, and you see the amount of variation with content that is available with mass media. So it will have negative repercussions with attention span. It's natural.
I definitely agree with Jeet. I think the level of stimulus that social media provides definitely affects the brain. And in that sense, I think that we've lost the art of sitting still. I find it very difficult at times to just sit still and listen to people. I want to continuously be doing something. So in that sense, yes, attention spans have been affected.
I do agree with both of them, but when it's something you love doing, like example for me, when I love reading a book, I can sit through hours and hours while reading a book. But again, yes, I do agree when it comes to studying or sitting through long lectures or speeches, I also do become restless while doing that.
I mean, whenever I'm reading, I always have that urge to check my phone. Don't you used to that?
But it's
Also, right?
Oh, so much. I can't even get through a movie. I can't get through a good movie. The second like a slow scene comes on, I need to check my phone.
But if a book or a movie is so interesting to you, I personally don't, because I get very engrossed.
You have
in
like
it.
great willpower. That's crazy. I can't do that. Yeah. No, because honestly, it's really hard to focus on one thing.
I think because of it affects your subconscious brain, so you don't realize that consciously that your attention spans are actually shrinking. So you're so involved in what you're doing that it's unconsciously happening. So that's what I believe in that sense.
So, for the longest time, as a profession, I was looking at law. And for that, everyone around me told me that you need to read a lot, hundreds of pages a day at times. And it gets scary because it's hard for me to sit down with a book and just give that my 100%, especially if there are alternatives available. Like if my phone is around me, I will usually reach out for it.
And this even affects our daily life, because when we're talking to our parents, for example, or we're talking to friends in general, we cannot just sit still and listen to what they're saying. We want to put in our own additions, or we want to check our phone, someone message me a notification. So it affects our relationships as well.
Have you ever been influenced by something like, what your your favorite influencer says, or like a celebrity? Because, that matcha trend, I used to hate matcha. Like my mom made me try it once, but then I saw like my favorite influencer, like you drink matcha, and I was like, oh my god.
It
changed my
unappealing.
Is there
grass.
grass?
It's grass. It's
very, very
it's like tea.
unappealing.
Yeah. So have you been influenced though?
No, not for me. Again, if it's something niche that does not affect my life, I don't think I'll be influenced. But again, if it's something that I'm looking forward to doing, example, like if something I'm interested in an art career, right? And if I see an influencer painting something and something using techniques, I will be influenced by that. But something niche like those Labubu dolls, I don't think I'll ever be influenced to buying such an expensive thing that you can get for a very
What do they
cheap cost.
do? I still can't
I don't
comprehend what is the role of these dolls.
I have no clue. I have no
They're
clue.
so creepy, and everybody's obsessed with them for God knows what reason.
It's just weird, because action figures used to do that, and they used to
I think it's
price-
because a celebrity used it once, but I don't think it's a practical. It's not
Yeah.
even cute, like those teddy bears.
Labubu. Yeah.
Yeah, too. I think influence is based on the level of confidence that you have. If you're confident about yourself, then I don't think you'll be influenced by other people. But yes, you do look up to people when you look at their glamorous life. You look at
totally.
their body language, what they wear, how they look, how they speak. That kind of impacts you. But overall, I don't think it changes your life.
I think one of the reasons people do get influenced is to find a community online. If you don't have a lot of friends, in real life, so to maybe find a community in, in the online world and find someone to talk to about it, maybe that's why they can influence and follow these trends, so they can relate to somebody. You know?
I definitely agree that there's a bandwagon effect. Like,
Yeah.
someone is saying something online, people just follow because they want
So
to be a part of the
you're
trend.
saying that you feel pressurized to follow what's popular online nowadays. At
Yeah,
some
I think
level,
so.
people do get pressurized.
I do think
I don't get that because consuming something visually will not make me act in a different way. So recently for my boards, I had to delete Instagram so I could really look into my studies. But since then, I haven't really been on. But even when I was on Instagram, my following and followers was mostly made up of people I know, people I've met. So in that sense, when you're not consuming enough of that content, you don't like someone enough to change your day-to-day behavior.
actually it's a very good trick we can follow. We should only follow the people we know, celebrities.
I think
know.
all
There's
of
a
us
name
have
for that.
private accounts here, right? Nobody has
Yeah.
public account for anybody. Yeah.
I think you feel pressurized only if, like, when you're seeking validation from people or from trends. That's when you
Yeah,
feel the
but
pressure.
usually unconsciously get roped into that validation circle. Like, you
It's
just, you
solidarity,
need
yeah.
it. Yeah. Even though you feel like you don't, you end up seeking validation. Maybe not in a very obvious way, but
Again,
you
these
do.
may be people who feel lonely in real life, right? Don't have many friends. So you post, you
Yeah.
get likes, you get comments, you get people interacting with you. So maybe that's interesting for them.
But then the problem with that is then they lose out on that aspect of making
Yeah.
meaningful relations in their offline real life. And
They
just
lose
shift
their
to-
beliefs and
They
thoughts.
escape from
Yeah.
their reality.
Yeah.
The thing is that relationships are being redefined. Relationships are not what they were once. So meeting people was one of the biggest check boxes that if I want to be close with you, I have to meet you every day.
Yes.
But that aspect is not as prevailing anymore, and that's allowing for long distance relationships. So it's not all bad.
Of course. Every story has two sides.
Yeah, actually, no.
So I have a question to you all. I mean, do you all feel that social media is reflecting our society? Or is it like that?
Subliminally,
I
not
mean,
out there.
yeah, because people show different parts of their lives online, and I think they mainly only focus on the good parts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, haven't you seen? Oh my, one of my friends, he got accepted in this amazing university, but to people who are viewing it, they just saw the university, the acceptance
They didn't
letter.
see the hard
They didn't see the
work.
struggles. They didn't see the rejections and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't think they show the bad parts of their lives mainly.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
I hate to play devil's advocate, but you need to understand that any type of media, be it social media or mass media, does not need to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
obviously.
Of course, if it's friends we're talking about, it should be genuine. But by showing only the positives and hiding maybe the struggles and the negatives, I don't think that's such a bad thing.
But then the point of that is that's the point, that social media then creates illusions in
Yeah.
people's minds. And
Yeah.
they attach themselves to false realities which cannot be true.
But false realities can be goals, Kush. It can be something you know
But
work
when you are
towards.
attached to those goals and you don't achieve them, that's when the true trauma kicks in. And I think that's why our generation is one of the most depressed
Fair
generations.
Also, I feel like sometimes showing the good parts of lives becomes very overrated, because then people who've seen that and actually go through it, they go through something very different. So I feel like these days influencers have started posting, more of the bad parts of their lives rather than the good parts, to make more relatable
More
content.
relatable, yeah.
Oh, I have to tell you about this. So I was looking up these reels and I saw these people who were doing good things, like they were donating
Right.
food, charity, etc. And my entire point was that they were shooting everything, right? And my thing is that if you're really doing something good and you're doing it for the sake of doing good, then
Why
why
don't
do you have
you
to show it and
yeah.
project it to the world?
I want
Agreed.
to speak about this because, again, devil's advocate. But let's say there's a person who is doing a good deed,
Correct.
and he's recording it, posting it. Compared to a person who is genuine, they want to do good, but they're not recording it and they're not doing it. So in this case, even if you don't genuinely want to do it, but you're doing it for the views, it's still doing the good deed.
But sometimes what happens is that they show to you that they're doing the good deed, but when the camera's off, oh, give that back.
That's just sad. That's just
That's sad.
These cases do happen in real life, and my point is that doing good is for the sake of doing good. It's not to project to the world like, oh, I'm a good person, that's why I'm doing it.
But then at the same time, the people are still benefiting from it. And
Correct,
you
if
do
they
get
are-
influenced by it. People are getting influenced by other people online. So you do feel influenced, maybe even I should do these
That's
good
fair. I
things and
agree.
everything.
If it's for the good cause, if everything's
Again,
good,
yeah,
then
exactly.
cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of like one arrow, two stones, two birds, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
get your phones. Because I need to talk about this because everybody I speak to says that 13 was late, but in my family, me, my brother,
Yeah.
both of us received our phones when we were 13. I thought that was perfect.
You've never seen my
I mean,
phone
I
at
got it.
13.
I got it at 10, when I was in the 5th grade, I remember, and I was so engrossed into it when I first, it was like a new toy for me. But I think there is no certain right age. I believe the moment you
oh
are...
my
No,
god.
there definitely is. 13 and 14 for some people may again be somewhere they're not mature mentally, and for some use a big platform like social media, you do need to be mentally strong.
Okay,
right?
let me just prove what I was trying to make. So I was saying that the point is not about having the age limit. I think the point is that whenever you receive the phone, because the phone or social media and the phone can be put to very good causes
Yeah.
as well. So I think the thing is not about restriction; it's about direction.
So, but then what do you think is the right age then?
I think it's if whenever the parents feel or whenever the guardian feels that this person is on this child of mine is on the right track, and I think now they can put social media and a mobile phone to a good cause. That is the right age.
But there's a lot that's being displayed on social media nowadays. It's not always safe.
So awareness is important. If
It's
you're
not
aware
really-
about these things, you can avoid them.
There aren't really parental controls, and those can be switched off so easily.
And parents don't lose track at a time, right? At some point,
You can't
that
monitor
what the
every
kid
single
is doing. Yeah.
moment of your child's life.
But then, don't you feel that the children should learn on their own?
They're children.
Exactly. That's why the kid should not be given a phone at a very young age. They should
Yeah.
be taught and then given a phone.
Yeah,
So
so that's
13,
what even I
14,
believe, yeah.
13, 14, I feel like is a good age.
So
When did you start using it though?
13.
30.
13?
I was 10.
I was 12.
10?
But social media or your phone?
Phone.
Phone, right? No, I started using social media when I was 12.
I started using when I was
Similar for
14.
me as well.
I was 14 when I started using it.
I got my phone and then I got on social media was all my friends. Well, I was
Yeah.
30.
I used to actually know, I was never like engrossed into Instagram, Facebook. I used to use a lot of YouTube because I used to watch a lot of content on YouTube. And I think
social.
And I think that time Brent Rivera and all were very,
Yeah,
very,
Oh,
very,
yeah.
and I
Those
used to-
challenges,
popular, yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
god.
they were very capturing.
they were really capturing, and the trends that used to be followed, they used to be so entertaining
Yeah.
that it was really fun.
It was new, more than entertaining. I feel like it was just new to see people with such different lives that it became appealing again.
Yeah, and for us, it was a lockdown era. So it was something,
Oh.
it was like a whole new world for
Correct,
us.
I feel like trends these days have become more materialistic than more
Oh, yeah.
experience, you know?
I mean, I've seen people who are like 12 and 13 buying those road lip balms, Hailey Bieber. So it's this lip balm. It's
oh
like
my
a lip
God.
treatment, and it is for like 3,000, 4,000 rupees.
What's the trait?
It's a lip balm, Jeet.
Oh, okay.
It's a lip balm, yeah. And it is so expensive, and kids at that age are using it. I think it's not right.
The hype is that it's made by Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber. Oh, later. Later.
See, he's not on social media, so
Yeah.
it shows right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I feel like an uncle talking
Odd
to
one
you
out.
guys.
I think you are right now.
So exactly. So I believe that the kind of livelihoods that is created, that is one thing that social media has really done well.
Yeah, so influencers do earn a lot by posting a lot, and I feel like they post a lot because they're more comfortable of expressing themselves online
yeah.
rather than face to face. Like me also, if I get a text message on my Instagram, right, I can take a minute or two to think about what I'm gonna reply.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me more efficient, I feel like, in replying and also what to reply. But in face to face, when someone asks you, you have to, instantly give a answer, which can be tough for people, right? Because instant thinking is not that good for them.
Yeah.
So,
But then, don't you feel that if you're thinking so much about answering, are you being natural or are you...
Exactly. I feel like you.
depends on the situation. If it's a serious situation, you don't need a minute or two. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? If she's saying that it's easier to express yourself, it means we're truer to our actual identities online, which is paradoxical in nature. I mean, we say,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you heard the Mike Tyson quote?
Which
The people have gotten too comfortable with saying anything online without getting punched in the face.
Oh, yeah.
So the lack of consequences has made people accustomed to saying whatever they want without.
I completely agree, and that's why you see so much bullying online,
Oh, yeah.
abusive language that is used. So there are two sides to it. Again, right?
Yeah. And sometimes I find it so much easier to just vent to my friends online. Like in person, I would just start crying, honestly. And it'd be really uncomfortable, I think, for both of us if I was talking to you about it. But on text, I can just say whatever I want. And it's so much more easier.
I think it's also the security of knowing that the other person cannot see your face, right? They cannot see your expression, so you feel more, open, guarded. Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Me and Khush had this debate recently in school only. And in that, we had to research on loneliness and how social media is affecting it. And there, I think we spoke about how psychology proves that more than 90% of communication is non-verbal, meaning physical cues. So even though you might be more true to yourself with your texts online, you can't really read body language. So it's less meaningful.
So in the end, yes, it can. What we can understand by this particular part of the discussion is that yes, with social media, it's easier to form tiny relations. That means
Oh,
it's
yeah,
easier to make
totally.
connections. But the meaning that comes to your life, I think that only comes when you meet people.
Yeah, because like thousands of followers don't mean you have thousands of friends.
Absolutely. There's actually a study by Robert Dunbar. I think he says that at one point of time, a human being can only manage 115 meaningful relations.
Your debate research is coming in use now.
All of this and we lost
I mean, so we need to put it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
What is the scene nowadays with social media? Like, I'm on and off. I only use Instagram web when I do, but how much time do you guys?
I spend too much time. It's really bad.
I spend a lot.
On
Yeah.
the contrary, I spend very lot time. I do not watch a lot of it.
I spent 5 hours yesterday.
Wow.
It was a Sunday. I had a lot of free time.
So mine doesn't
It's
get
justified.
as extreme as 5 hours, but I go until 2.5 hours. A big part of social media is also messaging your friends.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
so
not
true,
only
yeah.
scrolling and scrolling, you also text on Instagram, right? So that is also counted as a screen time.
And that's one of the positive aspects
Yeah.
of connectivity.
But I feel like we shouldn't reduce it to that because I keep telling people I'm off social media and fully proud about it. But that's only because I'm not on the mainstream platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook. But I'm still on YouTube for large amounts of time. On YouTube, I'll be seeing something. I'll be seeing a movie on Netflix. Some series on Netflix. So it's not like all of that time is being used constructively even.
That's right, but in today's time, it's almost impossible to completely disconnect yourself from these platforms.
Oh my
You don't
god.
need to disconnect yourself. You need to analyze and assess how you need to use it, but you should not just completely go away from it.
Because there is important content on Instagram too, like day-to-day news, stuff.
I don't know how many birthday parties I've missed because I didn't know I was invited.
You know what happened to me? So, about 2 weeks ago, I was like in this full lock-in phase. I'm going to delete Instagram. I'm going to fix my life.
It lasted
Hey stars, didn't I tell you?
It
It lasted 1 week, but the problem was when I deleted Instagram, I moved to YouTube Shorts. When I deleted YouTube, I moved to Pinterest. So I kept on
And
going
when you
to
delete
different
everything, you start scrolling
So
your gallery.
Exactly. Yeah. So there is really no end to this
need something
cycle.
to do all the time.
Yeah. I spend even if it's not exactly social media, you spend too much time on your phone nowadays. It's like my
Time is also
lifeline.
affected by the responsibilities we have. Because transitioning from 10th to AS level, our responsibilities have doubled.
Yeah.
Like,
Even though subjects have
crazily.
decreased, extracurriculars and everything, they have doubled. So like social media,
Extracurriculars.
so social media I feel like cuts down automatically, but for some people only. People who are not able to manage and balance, they will go through a hard time. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I did a little while during boards. My god.
No,
was really
during
bad.
boards I was fully.
I was off for like 3 months. I
3 months is crazy.
yeah, 3 months I was not on it.
I was off the month of the board.
Yeah.
1 whole month I was off.
We had to exchange passwords and log each other out of Instagram because it was so bad. I kept on going back.
Something that I actually wanted to ask you on that, do you think we're the same person online and offline? Or are we different people?
I am a different person altogether. I'm not,
I remember how you chat. I remember your emojis, bro.
not
I
altogether.
was like, you're speaking to me like in real life.
Not altogether. I have 2 accounts, right? So on my main account, I am this polished person who posts really pretty songs.
Same,
and then on my spam account, which is my private account with very few people, I post the worst things possible. I post weird dance reels, mimicry and everything. You should watch them once. It's really funny.
I'm going home and that's the first
Yeah,
thing
I'm gonna show you them on the way back. They're really funny. But yeah, I'm not the same
So
person.
you think you're not the same?
I'm not the same person.
In sociology, okay, not to get preachy, but in sociology, we have something called the Hawthorne effect.
Okay.
Which was, I think, found in 1933 by a sociologist called Mayo, who was researching a factory in Chicago.
Oh yeah, I've done this
They
in
found. Do you have?
in business. Yeah.
Okay, so they
I'm missing out
found,
on all of this.
they found that people, when observed, act differently. And that's it. When we know we're being watched all the time, we're not going to act true to ourselves.
Okay.
But when, let's say, we're offline behind that facade, behind our screens, we have more kind of convenience and flexibility
Yeah.
to act as we'd like. Because again, lesser consequences.
Okay. So that's, you think as well that we different.
Oh, Totally.
I
Amiksha?
feel like I am the same person because I have limited followers. I only let the people I know because I have a private account, right? So when I get those requests, I scan who I know, I don't know. So I know the same people online and offline. So I don't think I have a reason to be different online and a reason to be different offline.
So like my perspective is that whether you're online or you're offline, I think the main thing is to just be truthful to whoever you're speaking to.
of course.
And in that sense, if you do that, then I don't think there'll be a major difference between the different personalities.
What about lying? Do you think it's easier to lie online?
Oh, yeah, my
They don't see your
gosh.
For sure.
No, I'm not saying I'm
No, but when I lie,
God.
when I lie in person, I just start laughing. I can't lie.
Oh, same.
I just start laughing. But if I'm on text, I can lie really smoothly. It's way
I don't
easier.
That comes handy with the parents.
Oh, totally. I mean, I can't.
Me personally, I can lie regardless.
That's not a good trait, Chief.
I can lie regardless.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, so like nowadays, social media is used so much. So what do you feel like? Do you get like jealous and do you get like FOMO and feel like, pressurized to keep up with these insane trends? I mean, I really do. What is
I've spoken to you about this. I've told you about how FOMO was never really a thing because I'm so on and off social media that I don't know what is happening around me. So how can I be scared of missing out on something I don't know exists?
Really?
I used to read this. I had read this quote at one point of time, and I really love it. The key to know the world is to know yourself. And I think the only way to I think if you know yourself well, then jealousy, FOMO, all of these things won't happen.
But when you're a teenager, all this does affect, right? And
Yes,
a
it's a
teenager, how
part
much
of
do
being
you
a
really
teenager.
know about
It's
yourself?
okay. I mean, if it's for a periodic amount of time, then it's fine. But it should not become a lifelong habit.
Yeah.
But the pressure aspect of it goes hand in hand with motivation for me. Like if I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling and let's say I see a friend who's in the gym. I am now inclined to want to go myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is pressure to keep up, but then it's leading to something positive.
And it's fine.
Yeah, but then a lot of negative aspects as well. Like, now this is not really a negative aspect, but this month, July and August, these 2 months, it's crazy with the number of birthday parties. Like, it's everybody's birthday every weekend. And I have this, it's not FOMO. I would not call it specifically FOMO. But, it's this constant fear that, what if something really cool happens at this party? And I'm just not there. So I'm so scared of missing out on them.
And that's why even with Jeet's point, it might lead to a positive outcome, definitely.
Yeah.
But then I think the problem with that is that you are not content with what you're doing because you're at all points of time you're comparing yourself to another person or another thing, and in that sense you feel lesser than that. So you should be happy with yourself.
So are you like jealous?
No,
Maybe of the person, like
I'm
maybe
not.
jealous, and you want to do it just so that you can be better than them.
I had this trick. So at one point of time, if I'm ever jealous of someone, I
Yeah.
just go to them and I'll appreciate them. So if you do something like that, then that emotion really
That's
dies
why you
down.
appreciate me so much.
You're too good, Dandini.
Thanks, coach.
Speaking of FOMO, Nandini, so there was this birthday party and she wanted to go for it, but it was late at night and she needed someone to drop her back home after the party.
It was 10 o'clock.
No, stop. She tells her mom that Jeet will be with me. Jeet didn't know I had to be with her. And then
Her mom will say this.
Mom, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I was told on that day and I had to go pick her, drop her home, because it was late at night. So FOMO, yes, that is victim one.
Yeah, oh my, I gave him hell that day. I called him like 30 times. I was like, Jeet, please come. And then he walked in at like 8:15. He's like, let's go now. Let's leave.
That's why he bullies you.
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid now.
I think I.
So yeah, at a certain age, I feel like everybody becomes content with themselves and they're like, we know that this will not happen, so why be jealous of this? Have you seen those crazy routines where people, wake up at 6:30, they'll work out by 7:30, they'll go
Ashton
for a
Hall,
walk,
Ashton Hall.
they'll
Yeah.
go, dunk their hair, they dunk their face in ice water.
Oh, yeah,
but
man.
you see those routines and you'll be like, oh shit, main nahi kar pa rahi, even I want to do this. Wo jealousy aata hai, but then at a point the reality kicks in, right? Like people like us who have to go to school at 7 and then come back, tuitions, homework, extracurriculars. We cannot be in bed by 10 and then wake up at 6:30. That's just not possible, right? So why chase it? Why be jealous of it?
Some of this stuff is completely like AI.
Yeah.
So do you actually think that AI is making it more creative or more fake? Because right now, I think it's going on the faker side, genuinely. Because I see...
Have you seen the cat videos?
Oh yeah, those cats that dance like
Oh my god, have you
this.
seen this bread and they put drinks on it and that drink turns into the butter and they're like...
They put like marbles.
Yeah, marbles and then small cans of drinks.
you don't use social media.
That ASMR videos and
Oh yeah. But with AI, it's also making us so much more creative because people actually believe the fact that this is real because AI is becoming so much better day by day. So people then get like they get the incentive like maybe even I should try this out, and they keep on trying till they actually get to that point, and then they do it.
It looks to be scary for me at least.
Oh,
with the
yeah,
amount of
my
realism that's
God.
coming in. I think not only that it will replace jobs, etc., but things like deep fakes, all of these things, I think
That's
they can
very
really be a
scary.
social problem for our society in the future. So they must be restricted and balanced.
Yeah.
But I think coming back to social media, what do you think? I think as individuals, what can we do to change our perspective about social media, or limit it or restrict it, or use it wisely? What do you think? Start with Jeet.
I feel like you can really regulate. It's not as hard as it seems because the number one excuse that I've seen people give is that I need to message people, but you can do that on less, media sensitive platforms like WhatsApp works just fine. So definitely it'll come with knowledge and limitation because see, if you've identified a problem, you've solved half of it.
Yeah.
And it is very common knowledge that social media isn't some great thing for us. So definitely for just communication, there are alternatives.
Okay, Samiksha, what do you
I think you need to find a balance because at the time you can make a schedule, you can make a timetable, but you need to have it in you. You need to have that responsibility in you to follow it. And again, you can find alternatives, right? But just don't doom scroll on the every day and
Yeah.
just keep
Sounds
scrolling.
like my mom. Honestly.
Your mom says doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's so.
And then if you find Instagram page, some certain pages that really help you in your studies, doom scroll them. Don't doom scroll the
Smart point.
है ना?
Madam Nandini.
Yeah, so I have this feature on my phone called the screen time. Like, I think it limits your screen time.
Okay.
And I use it a lot.
Oh.
Now I've actually started using it because
Please send the link to me.
no, it's inbuilt
It's
in
in
your
your
phone.
settings.
Yeah, it's inbuilt in your phone.
But it's very easy to
No. So I get
remind me late. Remind me after 15 minutes.
I get my mom to put in a password so that after like I think 1 hour 30 minutes is up, then I just can't log into social media on my like Instagram, anything.
I think if we can, my perspective is that if we can sit with people in our real life for a little more time, like if we can, rather than spending the time chatting with someone on social media, if we can just sit
Yeah.
with our parents for another 15 minutes, another 20
Right.
minutes, strike a conversation with them. And that could be a way in which we could replace the kind of the levels of attention span that are falling, or the side effects of social media.
But I feel
more time with
like
people
nowadays
in
even
real life.
parents are engrossed in their phone a lot. I'll go to the room, I'll sit, I'll start a conversation. They won't pay attention. They will be on that phone and they will not leave it.
So we tell
That's when the irony comes in. Whenever they come to talk to me and I'm on my phone, they'll be on me that leave your phone. But when I go and talk to them,
yeah.
they'll be on their phone and it'll not matter a minute.
Simple solution. Send them the link of this podcast and tell them to watch it.
Done.
We agree on that.
But don't you all feel helpless sometimes because we see all this content and we just kind of consume it and the algorithm is feeding to us
Correct.
whatever it deems worthy. So in this case, how much control can we exert over what we watch? Right.
I think more than control over what we watch, you need to control your mind.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the mind. One who
I
controls
agree,
their
yeah.
mind, they can control
But
the
you're
world.
not understanding the simple argument against that. It isn't really our choice. Let's say a shorts or a reels. Where you are not clicking on a video by thumbnail or by title.
Yeah, that's very
You are scrolling and whatever the algorithm feeds you, you eat.
So you
Yeah.
close the app.
No,
press the delete
खुश
button.
नहीं होता.
Don't
It
do
doesn't
that.
work.
You can like what you want. Right?
ideally
Just
so.
don't
Again,
keep on.
Yeah.
That's what the point is. That it's all about yourself. Like you have an option to switch off the app and delete it, right? But then you are not being able to because you're into that reality. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
really
about
true,
saying
yeah.
no to it and going back
Because
to
the
your world.
algorithm also looks at what you're liking,
Correct.
what you're consuming, right? So if you like the reels you want to like or the content that you want to like, the algorithm will understand and give you those reels.
Yeah.
If you're searching a person's profile, then you will notice that the next day you have more reels of that person, right? And then I think it's happened that we're talking about a topic,
yeah.
and in the next 2 minutes you'll have, content and reels
scary.
about that, which is very scary.
I was talking to my mom. I want a new pair of Converse shoes, and I kid you not, I open up my phone, I get an ad for Converse shoes, and I was that's so scary. Like they're
We
listening to
recently
you.
went to watch a movie, and then now my reels, my For You page is just
we
flooded
didn't even
with those reels.
we didn't even search up the movie's name or anything whatsoever. We just went for the movie, we came back, and my page was flooded with those reels.
But then, I completely agree with that. Coming back to that one point of saying no, right? I think but once you deny doing something or once you say no, it's easier the next time.
You need that willpower. You need that
We
willpower
just need to
though.
start.
The first like 2 weeks are always the hardest.
Yeah.
Any addiction, smoking,
No,
drinking, or
I quit after 1 week. That whole lock-in phase. Arey, what quit? Course, I could not do it.
I called
Stop
it.
calling it quit. You took a break. You took a sabbatical.
Yeah. And I promised myself, every weekend I download social media, and then during the weekdays I'll, delete it. But that clearly did not work because I'm still there. So I can't really control what happens on
So
social
like
media.
after all this discussion, do you guys think that social media is really changing the way we think?
Oh yeah, my God, yeah, totally.
I feel like the existence of this podcast means yes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It is changing the way we think, but I think maybe that's not in our control. But the magnitude of the change, I think, is in our
Definitely.
Oh, 100%.
and we must focus on what we can do. And I think as individuals, we can make the small steps to result in the final action of reduction in these changes. So we can spend a little more time in our real life meeting people.
I think it's also about perspective. If you look at social media as something you want to waste your time on, that's harmful. But if you look at social media as a business opportunity, something you can earn money off of,
yes.
then it's the best thing because people earn a lot out of this, right? So it's also about the perspective. You can turn it into something useful or something very useless.
So can we say that in the end, the key lies in your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, 100, yeah, true.
So there is change, but positive or negative is like
It's different from person to person.
Done.
Yeah. So,
I guess that's it.
yeah,
That's all we have to say.
that was a really interesting discussion today.
Thank you.